Hello everyone, it's Friday once again, so you know what that means. It's time for edition 82 of Artisan Weekly. It's been another really great week in the Laravel world and the PHP world. We've seen some new packages, plenty of new pieces of software. I don't know if you've seen what Aaron Francis is working on, but Solo looks really good. So if you're kind of in that AI space and you're looking for a tool to help, head over to and take a look at Solo. Might be the tool that you're after. But yeah, plenty of things happening this week. Counting down the weeks now till Laravel Live UK. So of course, if you haven't got yourself a ticket yet, it's 2 days full of talks. From well-known people in the Laravel community. It's down in London, so of course the capital of the UK. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, head over to laravelive.uk and grab one while you can. So let's jump into the top 10 this week. And here we go. So in first place this week, we've got this post here by Ivan. Now, this is actually something that I've fallen foul to once in the past. So it's something now that I make sure that in any of the PRs that we do within the team, that we don't use this method. But Eloquent's got a lot of really nice helper methods, things like where date, things like that, that the query builder has. So this is one that you might have used in the past, and you might not realize, but the query that it generates at the end, you could be losing the efficiency of the indexes that you might have on those columns. And it's a great example here. He's using it for the where created at date, where it's a particular date, and he outputs the generated SQL. Now, if you run that through, you do explain and put that query in front of it, it'll tell you a bit more about how the query will work. And you can see that in his example, it doesn't show that he uses the index. So yeah, if you're using dates at all in your queries, do not use where date if you want to take full advantage of those indexes that you might have put on those columns. Next up then, we've got this post here by Arshid. Now, you might be thinking, face recognition and PHP, those two words don't go together. But yeah, you're right, now you can. So he is showing you how to do this using dlib. Now, this is not something I've done, but I thought it was quite interesting, because obviously, every time you think of things like face recognition, you automatically think of Python or things like that. So yeah, now that with this example showing how you can do it in PHP, it might make you think again about next time you have to do this. Next up then, we've got the latest Laravel Worldwide Meetup. So this recently happened, and they had the one and only Jim Second on there. So you might know Jim. Previously worked at Jump24. Now he's a senior developer advocate over at Vonage. So he talks us through this talk is kind of based on things that you might not know Laravel could do. So he talks about what a CPaaS is, and how you can use that to power your Laravel application. So again, if you've seen Jim talk, it's full of life. It's a great talk. So head on over and give that one a watch. Next up then, we've got this new package that Redberry, another Laravel partner, they've released. Now, in your applications, when you're developing locally, you have to send emails and things like that. So you might be using like the log driver, but obviously that gets a bit messy, trying to read through the logs, trying to kind of read the email through the logs. Or you might be using Docker, so you could be using like Mailhog or something like a container. So there, but they've come up with a package that you can use that kind of generates almost like a Gmail mailbox for you. And all your emails go into that. So you install the package /mailbox, and every email that your application sends will then appear there. So it's nice and easy to read, and you don't have to worry about containers, reading through log files, things like that. So yeah, a nice little package to look at if if your applications send a lot of emails and it's a pain locally doing that. Next up then, we've got episode 5 by Harris over on Laravel News. So this is the 5th episode in his Ship AI with Laravel. So if you've been watching along previously, he's gone from a very basic application that he's built to including AI, and throughout each video he has progressively enhanced that AI to make it better. So with this one, he talks about RAG, embeddings and vectors and things like that. So giving that AI agent more ability to, kind of conversate and pull information out for a user that might be questioning it. For his examples, we'll talk about orders. So you can ask about your order number, where is it? How long do we think it's going to take to get to us? Things like that. So all these things kind of build on, these episodes are built on to building a very fully functional AI agent that you could use for this kind of system. And then next up, another one over from Laravel News is Eric Barnes. And in this one, he's got JMac with him. Now, you might have already, heard of Laravel Cloud, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, how can I get my application on there? Is it able to run on there? There might be little intricacies that your application has that means it won't work. Now, JMac has kindly worked closely with the Laravel team, and he has put together a shift for you that will check your application to make sure that it will work. So yeah, if you've been considering moving to Laravel Cloud and you're just not too sure if your application is ready, go and take a look at the shift, and you might be pleasantly surprised that your application is ready to go. So yeah. Again, another post here by Haviz. Now this one, the timing of this one is quite kind of relevant. I've seen a couple of tweets this week about AI agents destroying production databases when they've been trying to solve a problem. They went through the code base, found an environment variable that just so happened to be an environment variable for production access, and run commands that destroyed the database. So this part of post talks about the guardrails you can put in place, things that you can do to help mitigate that situation going forward. Next up then, we've got Stephen here from Securing Laravel. So this one is another really important security tip about the signed URL trap. So you might be using signed URLs in Laravel for things like login and stuff like that. So instead of username and password, put their email address in, it sends out a login link. They click login. So he shows, kind of gives examples of how you can, this method can be kind of hacked, and he shows you how to stop that from happening. Again, Stephen does a lot of really good posts on security. He's got a newsletter, and if you're not on the newsletter, if you don't get these kind of emails coming, it's worth doing, because obviously each week he sends out some really great information. Next up then, we've got this post here by Benjamin. So he's over at Vonage as well with Jim, and in this one he builds a Laravel app without knowing Laravel. So he's using AI to help him build a Laravel app. Now this is again quite interesting, because with the kind of rise of AI and how good it's got, we're starting to see this a lot more. In the last 2-3 weeks, we've had people phone us up. I've built this application and I can't go any further with it. Can you help me out? And it kind of turns out, they don't know how to code. They've vibe coded it, and they've kind of asked us to help fix things or improve things. So in this one, he builds a WhatsApp travel concierge with Laravel. So he walks you through doing that using AI. So yeah, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, and maybe you're not a developer, but you'd like to see how you could do this kind of thing with AI, or if you're kind of new to AI and you are a developer, again, this there could be some interesting things here for you to learn for when you're building your apps with AI. And then finally, we've got this post here by Gaijin Anime. Sorry, I couldn't find any more information about you on the internet, so sorry about that. But this is a post on how using the context directive with in his Laravel application ended up breaking JSON LD. So they upgraded to Laravel 12, and then basically some pages returned 500 errors. So this actually happened for 3 weeks. They didn't realize, but because of the upgrade and the way that they were using the context directive, with, as I said, with JSON LD, it was causing a 500 error on particular pages. So yeah, they talk through here on the problem itself and the kind of scope of the problem, and then how they went about fixing it. So again, it's just an interesting one to read. Like, it's interesting as a developer to see how other developers, the issues they might have and how they tackle them, how they fix them. But it's great then for them to put it on the web for us to read, to be able to, this might happen to someone next week and they've got now a resource they could go to solve that problem. So again, it's just really great. We thank you all for doing this. So that's it for this week. As I said, there's been lots of great posts, some really great packages. And yeah, thanks for joining in. Don't forget, we have a newsletter now. So if you head over to artisanweekly.com, you can sign up to that. So you'll get this in your inbox every Friday morning. And don't forget, you can head on over to see the past editions. That is a top 10 that I do, but also there are extra ones on there that I might have found interesting as well. They don't quite make the 10, but they are there for you to see on the website. So if you get a chance, do head on over and check out some of those previous editions. And thanks again, and hopefully there was something that you enjoyed today. Thanks all.